This is Jimmy Ray from Age of Faith. Last year, Feed the Children distributed over 40 million pounds of food, medical supplies, and other urgently needed assistance to people suffering in drought, flood, war, or other calamities. Based in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with 18 international offices, Feed the Children serves 71 countries with 80% of their assistance sent to people in the United States. Every day, Feed the Children provides 95,000 meals worldwide. We at Grayed Out Records support Feed the Children and ask you to prayerfully consider it too. Their phone number is 1-800-627-4556. Thanks.
267 nations, 402 religions, 1,927,000 children, 6,423,000 people. But what we all need...
The hungry need food.
What we all need is the same.
The body needs unity.
All we need is the same three.
The world needs the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The same three chords. Same Three Chords, a new CD sampler from Grey Dot Records featuring new music from Age of Faith. Loudflower, LS Underground, as well as Grey Dot artists Sunday Blue, Breakfast with Amy, and Urban Shakedancers. Available wherever Christian music is sold for $2.95 through Spring Arbor Distributors and Grey Dot Records.
Hey, this is Michael Johnston from Smalltown Poets. Since their beginning in 1979, Feed the Children has distributed over 225 million pounds of relief commodities to the world's needy. They've also been named in the top 5 most efficient charities by several magazines, including Money and the nonprofit Times. We in Smalltown Poets support Feed the Children. Please consider it too. Their number is 1-800-627-4556. Thanks.
From the label that brought you Third Day last year, Grey Dot Records proudly presents Age of Faith. Age of Faith, their debut release, Embrace. Age of Faith, with exhilarating acoustic pop songs and uncompromising declarations of Christian faith. Relevant, honest, refreshing. Age of Faith on Grey Dot Records, available now through Word Distribution.
This is Lee Michaels with Jimmy Ray of Age of Faith, Grey Dot Records' newest band. The guys are in the studio these days recording their label debut, Embrace. Jimmy, how's it going so far?
Hey man, it's going really good. We've been in the studio for just a few days getting some of the first parts of the record done and working with a guy named Jeff Tomei. Jeff's worked with bands like Collective Soul and Indigo Girls and Smashing Pumpkins and some others, and he's really great to work with and bringing out a lot of the best in the songs. There's some other people that are going to be on the record too that you people that listen to Christian music and are real familiar with that will know the names of some of these folks that are going to be on the record. We've been pulling out a lot of different instruments for this record. It's still a rock and roll thing, but a lot of cool instruments, mandolin and some other acoustic instruments as well. The sampler has a song called Someday the Losers Win, which I wrote after seeing the movie Forrest Gump, so that's kind of a cool song, and then one called Satisfy. And it's going to be a real good record, and I can't wait for it to come out, and hopefully fans of Age of Faith and old fans of Age of Faith will love it, and plus we'll make some new ones as well.
That sounds exciting. Sounds like you're working with a lot of top-notch people. Jimmy, you've been playing for a long time before this record, though, independently touring youth groups and churches. What has that been like?
Well, that's a whole world in itself. I've been on the road for about 9 years myself, and playing with Age of Faith and doing a solo thing as well. God has been faithful to me through the whole 9 years. It's been amazing, the grace and the mercy that He's shown, and I've gotten the opportunity to see a lot of lives changed, not just through my music, but as well through playing live and getting to talk to kids one-on-one. I'm out about 150 days a year with the band and with myself as well, playing, and just God has been faithful. I can't stress that enough, that the youth group thing and playing for youth groups and touring independently, it's trying, it's hard, it's not always easy, but again, like I said before, God is faithful. He's provided. He's met our needs, and continues to do so. And my trust is in Him, and I don't expect that to change. But the coolest thing is one-on-one with the kids, that I get to hang out and get to see that the music that I write has an effect on people, and that's worth it all, man.
Do you see any of that changing now that Embrace is coming out?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, the touring part will probably increase, which is a great thing because to me it allows us the message of what we sing about to get into more people's, in front of more people. The cool thing about Embrace comes that it just elevates what we do a little more for people to hear the message that's in the music. We're going to be probably doing some opening slots for some other bands on some tours. But the important thing is most important thing remains central: one-on-one contact with people. We go in and do camps. We'll go in and lead praise and worship for a whole week, and then the band will do a concert at night. And the cool thing about the label Grey Dot is they're into support, the tour support and follow-up, which we're into too. We like to know what's happened, what's been the lasting effects after we've been into a place. And that's the cool thing about Grey Dot is they're into knowing that too. And they encourage their artists to be like that. And that's the greatest thing about the working relationship we have is the fact that after we leave a town, there may be some lives that have been changed, and we want to follow up with our organization, and Grey Dot does too, and that's a great thing. So yeah, things are going to change since Embrace is coming out, but it's only going to be for the better, and it's going to still allow us to tour, but it's going to allow the message to get in front of that many more people.
Sounds like it's going to keep you pretty busy and not a lot of downtime.
Right.
What do you do when you do have time off?
Well, I'm basically working. Time off for me basically consists of staying at the office. We have an organization called Acoustic Groove Productions, and best basically where we run all of our office stuff out of, road management and getting ready for the concerts and the camps and whatever we do that we're a part of, and we do a lot of writing there and stuff. But I spend a lot of time there talking with youth pastors and talking with working on Bible studies for the songs. So we put Bible studies with our songs as well, and we put those in a packet and send them out to youth pastors and whoever. But we work with a lot of the scheduling and that kind of stuff. But besides that, man, I'm involved with my church. I'm a praise and worship leader for the youth ministry at the church I live in North Carolina. I have a family, a wife, and 2 little boys, and so a lot of my time is spent with them, and I try to. Hobbies, I listen to music, stuff like that.
Age of Faith music has been described as falling somewhere between alternative and acoustic pop music. Where do you see the band in the spectrum of music?
I'm an acoustic guitar player. There's always going to be the acoustic element in Age of Faith. No matter what kind of electrics and all the other stuff we throw in there, there's always going to be that element of acoustic guitar. I listen to a lot of different types of music. I listen to anything from the rock stuff, the quote alternative stuff, and I say that in quotes because alternative is such a different label nowadays than it used to be. I listen to some country stuff. There's all kinds of elements of music that I listen to. My CD collection is really diverse, and I pull a lot of things from those different bands and different artists that I listen to out there. So yeah, as far as the spectrum of music, I see us right in the middle of music. We're not in left field by no means. The music that you listen to, the music you hear on our records, more than likely you can sing to, you can enjoy. It's not it's just music that is enjoyable. It is rock and roll music, and it's music that you can relate to both lyrically and musically, and that's what I look for in a song when I listen to music, and that's what I'm hoping that other people look for when they listen to ours.
Are you conscious of a style when you write? Do you write for a certain group?
Well, the cool thing to say here would be that, I'm so involved in what I do in my art and my craft that, I don't care about it being played on the radio, don't care about selling records. But the truth of the matter is I write music to be heard. I want people to like my music, and I want people to hear the message that is in the song. So when I'm writing lyrics, I'm real conscious of the fact that there is truth going out in my songs and lyrically, and I want people to hear it and it possibly change their life. If not that, it encourages them. And, I keep that in mind. And when recording music, I want to make sure that we are in tune with where we are in the 90s or at this point, what's going on in the music industry, what's going on, what people are listening to. And I want to try to incorporate that as a writer into that when we're recording our songs. And I want it to be quality, and I want it to stand up with whatever's out there. And that doesn't mean that Age of Faith follows fads. A good song is a good song. And I remember when I was young and started listening to music, I loved songs. And that's the whole basis of what we do. if it's catchy and it's whatever style of music that is, if it's a catchy song and it hits you where you live, then that to me is a great song, and a good song is a timeless thing.
Speaking of timeless things, what role does your Christianity play in your music? Why do you do what you do?
Well, I've been a Christian for a while, and everything that I do in my life, not just my music, but everything I do in my life is based upon my faith in Christ. And whether it's something I say, something I do, something I see or I think upon or whatever, whether I'm writing music or whatever, the concerts, the whole aspect of my being is based upon my relationship with Christ. So therefore, it has to evolve in my music. I mean, if I'm writing, I'm a firm believer that the world is searching for hope, and whatever hope that is, that they need hope in. I believe that when I write, my job and my responsibility as a believer and as a musician and as a songwriter and as a performer and as a singer is to convey the message of hope that I found in Jesus. And so therefore, that's where I find out my role in Christianity is in my music.
Where would you like to see your music career take you?
Well, I have to sit here and say that a God has been faithful, and He's allowed me a lot of opportunities. To sit here and say that I don't want it to be successful would be a lie. Of course I do. I have a family to support, and there's goals that I have on the music end as well too. But you know what? I would like to know that if one day, if I'm ever out of this, that I can look back and know that I was faithful and know that I was doing what God had called me to do, no matter what that is, no matter if it's playing, a little camp of 20 kids somewhere in the outer remotest part of the world or whatever, or standing in front of however many playing a concert, whatever. As long as I'm doing what God has called me to do and I'm being faithful, I would love for people to look back and go, you know what, Age of Faith was a great band, but more importantly, they were faithful guys, and their music showed truth to me. And if people can say that, then I've done my job.
Well, it sounds like you're doing what you were meant to do in your life.
Right.
Is there anything else you want to do before you get old?
Before I get old?
Yeah, before you get old.
Well, let's see. I don't want to skydive. I don't want to bungee jump because I'll probably know my luck. It won't work. Let's see. I think, I've done mostly everything I want to do. But you know what? I am a professional wrestler fan. And I know it's fake. But I'm going to wrestle Ric Flair one day, and I will win.
You heard it here first.
Right there you go.
Jimmy Ray, Ric Flair.
That's it.
Well, Jimmy, thanks for spending some time with us, and we're anxiously awaiting Age of Fate's Embrace.
All right.